This is the end of the age, the era of hypocrisy. Vanity is rampant, unbelief is rampant, and it presents an obstacle. The walls of the religion of our prophet have come tumbling down. They are crying out for help, for someone to rebuild it. Its river has run dry. The Lord is not worshipped, or if he is worshipped at all, he is worshipped as an outward show, and hypocritically. Who will lend a hand to reconstruct the walls, to get the river current flowing, and to overcome the experts in hypocrisy? Every one of them is distracted by some preoccupation. This one is the slave of his social status, while this one is the slave of his worldly ruler. And this one is the slave of his lower self, and this one is a slave of his wardrobe. Every one of them is preoccupied with something. This one with his fasting and his prayers. This one with his reporting of hadith, traditions. This one with his fear of people, and this one with his love of the Garden of Paradise. Oh my dear son, God is the only one you need. Don't concern yourself with any other. The whole universe belongs to him. When the servant is conscientiously devoted to God, he rewards him by converting ignorance into knowledge, farness into nearness, silence into spoken recognition, loneliness into intimate friendship, and darkness into light. He must not seek help through supplication, nor must he seek help from anyone other than his Lord. No, he must remember his sins and practice self-criticism, until, when he has done a thorough job of this, he can resort to acceptance of the decree of destiny, to surrender and to entrustment as far as his heart is concerned. Once he is in this state, he will see an open door. The heart of the son of Adam must continue to travel along the path of good and evil, honor and humiliation, wealth and poverty, until he finally acknowledges that all blessings are due to God. This means gratitude, and gratitude is an act of obedience, performed without moving the tongue and the limbs of the body. The patient endurance of misfortune. He must admit his sins and offenses until, having taken his last step on the good side and his last step on the bad side, there is he at the king's door. He has taken the step of gratitude and the step of patience, with divine help as the guide. He has seen the king's door, and beyond it he can see things that no eye ever saw, that no ear ever heard, and that never occurred to any human heart. The alternating sequence of good moves and bad moves is at an end. Now comes the turn of conversation, discourse, and sitting in the company of the Lord. Let others eat their fill while you go hungry. Let others enjoy respect while you remain humble. Let others become rich while you remain poor. It is only for this that I am training you, preparing you, and teaching you. Indulging the appetites of the flesh will harden the heart, restrict the innermost being, eliminate keen intelligence, cause an increase in sleepiness and negligence, intensify greed, and intensify expectations. O prisoner in the prison of your passions, O slave of creatures, O you who are ignorant of the ultimate outcome of your state of affairs, O you who are ignorant of creatures and of the Lord of Truth, of what you owe and of what is due to you. If you do not understand, at least have the sense to remember death. Remembering death is the key to all that is good and to salvation. If you remember death, you will no longer be guilty of such excesses. If your greediness gets weaker and your expectations diminish, you will realize that we all belong to God, and to Him we are all returning. You will delegate all your affairs to God. O young man, there can be no salvation for you until you acknowledge His blessings, and those blessings immerse you in the realization of His Tawheed, His oneness. And then, in the realization of His oneness, you pass beyond noticing anything other than Him. All that is good comes from Him, and all that is bad also comes from Him. He shoots at the servant with the arrows of misfortunes, but then, when the servant shuts his eyes in the face of the shooting, along comes the physician of nearness to treat his wounds, the physician of love to lift him up, and the physician of ardent longing to embrace him. The secret of the Lord of Truth is inaccessible to the devil, to human minds, and to the angels. Seek nearness to Him through the door of your Falah.